Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. Yes, indeedy. Are you scared this won't work? So I recently just did a video with Agnes Vivarelli, for those of you that maybe don't know her. Great video, did it a couple days, well, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. 2 days ago, really, I guess, because when I release this, sorry. But that being said, did a video that kind of talked about manifestations and some of the concerns that we put on ourselves, some of the fears that we have. And I did a show recently, the 7 steps. I'll link this one below. I did it, I don't know, last week. And it talked about the 7 different steps you can take to kind of bring love into your life. The 7th step is the one I kind of want to key in on this particular video. Because, again, if you're one of those people that's afraid, it's scared, like, oh my God, what if this isn't working? What if I'm crazy? What if I'm, right? These are the thoughts that are separating you from your desire. But 2, I think it's the 7th step of that last video, again, link below, that I think really kind of solidifies where our mindset possible issue is. So the 7th step is you need to be able to let go of the person you love. And I don't mean let go in the manifestation kind of way, like you think about it and then you just let go and it happens, because that's also very powerful and very true, and is an aspect of this in that if you're okay letting go and you realize that it's coming to you and it's coming as fast as it possibly can, then this doesn't really come into play either, this concern that I'm sharing today. But that letting go idea, the fact that I could love somebody so much that it's okay that they be with someone else. So when we think about the idea of possibly being without them, does that suddenly become an impossibility? Is that something that we're I can't hear that, I can't hear that, I can't hear that, don't say that, it's not possible, it's not possible, it's not possible. If that's the angle that you're coming at your manifestation with, you are putting so much negative energy towards your manifestation, so much separation energy towards your manifestation, that you're pushing it away from you constantly. And I know that seems backwards. I'm going to try to speak to that a little, and I'm hoping that makes more sense by the end of this video. The idea of wanting something so badly you can't live without it is when you put it up on that pedestal, when you make something is responsible for your happiness, where it now becomes, I can't live without this, which is not true. It is completely not true. And if you're without it right now, you're currently living, right? You may not be happy, but that might have more to do with not being able to be happy just in life by itself. Again, are we putting our happiness outside of ourselves? One of the dangers of putting something up on a pedestal is that separation of it. So now all of a sudden, this thing has the ability to make everything good or make everything bad. But it's not in your control. It's not yours yet, right? Especially now that you've got it separated and perched up on this wonderful little pedestal, like a trophy, you know, like the guy that's posing for the or whatever their trophy pose is, right? The little short people that pose for them. When we get to that place where we're so afraid to be without this thing, we put so much pressure on it. It's kind of the difference, I guess, between a version of like pure love and needy love, right? It's one thing to love somebody so much that you want to be with them, you want to spend your life with them, you want them to be happy themselves. Like it starts to get outside of your needs and it gets into their needs. That's kind of the difference between actually loving somebody unconditionally and being needy. You know, needy is kind of a harsh word, I agree, but the standpoint of needy is usually, I require something back. I want that love because of what it will do for me. I love them because of what it gives me. Instead of, I love them for what I can actually bring to the table, for what I can share with them, for what I can grow and develop within myself with them. It's very important for us to truly understand what love is and what it should be. And if we're coming from a relationship, maybe it's an ex, right? We're trying to get them back, but we've had this very tumultuous past maybe, or we've had hard times bridging certain gaps, having hard times dealing with the fact that we constantly fight because there's this emotional frustration or there's this fear that exists within inside me. And again, a lot of the times, those same things creep into us because of fears, because of separation. Again, we've placed all of our happiness in this individual's hands. And now maybe they've betrayed us in some way. Maybe they cheated on us. Maybe we've cheated on them. And now there's this awkward thing and we're afraid they're going to leave us. When you get into that place where I'm afraid this other thing's going to happen, you create that separation. You create that reality. You create that contrast. And the more you fear it, the more of it you bring towards you. It's the idea of loving someone so strongly, so much, that you can be without them, that you can live your life without them and wish them the best and wish them happiness and know that you'll be fine too. When you come at it from that angle, when you separate that fear, that concern, that separation, when you take that out of the equation, you actually create a much more harmonizing relationship between you and them. I've talked about thought transmissions a bunch. You start to create a more pure thought transmission because now instead of some void that you're making them fill, I should say, it's now I'm a complete person, you're a complete person. Well, I'm at least a complete person. I can't speak for the other, but at least let's come at it from that angle. What am I bringing? I'm bringing love. I'm bringing happiness. I'm bringing tenderness. I'm bringing all the things that I'm looking for in a relationship. I'm bringing this to you, and I give it to you freely. I give it to you without any sort of need or requirement back. I give you this love unconditionally. I give you this love knowing full well that you may never choose to embrace it and come and be with me, and that's okay because I love you that much. And I want you to be happy for the rest of your life, forever, forever. And if I'm not the one that you're supposed to be with to be in that relationship, then that's okay. And I wish you the best. And I know there's something that is perfect for me. Perfect, healthy, everything that I want in a relationship is there for me. If for some reason this individual chooses to reject the love you're giving them, the energy you're giving them, the manifestation you're creating with them. I mean, Goddard talks about it. Everyone talks about it. Hicks talks about it. When it comes to other people, yeah, you can manifest stuff that for other people, to other people, that involve other people. You can definitely do it. But as other people, they have the option to say, yeah, no, I'm not interested, or I like Bobby over here. And, you know, even if Bobby over there may not like them right now, maybe Bobby's dating someone else, that's fine. Maybe they like Bobby right now. It doesn't mean they're not going to turn around and end up liking you. Again, it's the idea of loving someone, letting them do what they think is best in their lives, giving them that freedom to make those decisions, and loving them for those decisions. It's when we look at it and we're like, oh, I'm so scared it's not going to happen. You are creating that separation. You push it away every time because of that fear, because of that neediness, because of that I have to have this because of what it gives me. That's not what love is. That's not what a healthy relationship is. It's not all about what are you giving me, what are you giving me? Because those are the relationships that break up. Those are the relationships that falter. Those are the relationships there's so much pressure and troubles that are caused by trying to force someone else to give me happiness. It becomes untenable at some points. Maybe often, maybe at some place it becomes impossible. Maybe just every now and then they fail to make you happy, and then that causes a problem, it causes a fight. Again, that's not love. So what is it that we're really asking for? What is it that we really require? Now, let's be honest about it. If you're needy and you want to be needy and you don't really want to try to evolve that love that you are being a part of, then at least be honest about what it is that you are seeking. And you're seeking to put your power in someone else's hands. You don't want to have to necessarily be responsible for your own emotions and own happiness. You would rather make that someone else's problem. If I feel sad, that's your fault. If I feel happy, thank you for making me feel happy. And if I feel any sort of frustration or anything, well, that's obviously your fault too. Now, again, as long as you can manifest somebody that's fine with that, then everything should work out beautifully. You'll be manifesting and drawing the right person towards you if you're being honest about what kind of relationship you actually want. Now, there may be some problems in that relationship. They may like to make decisions for you and not particularly care what your opinion is, right? There can be a lot of little weird things that come from that. There's generally not going to be this perfect harmony if you're planning on putting everything outside of yourself. In fact, you'll probably find sometimes maybe it's a little frustrating because maybe you don't agree with the direction they're going, but again, you've placed all your power in someone else's hands. I guess you really have no place to speak when it comes to that. Again, I am not fond of that. I don't teach that, and I don't think that's healthy. I think having our happiness within ourselves, being happy in the moment, enjoying the journey I'm on, enjoying the process of creation and law of attraction. When we see it for what it is, when we enjoy it for what it is, when we enjoy the presence of that other person and truly love them for who they are and wish them all the best and give them that love, that is when you are being what it is that you are trying to attract back. You're being it, the ripple effect. What you're sending out is what you're getting back. That is how you manifest the love. When it scares you so badly that you can't do it, you've already separated yourself. How do I get around it? I know a lot of us, everyone, that's the biggest question, right? You brought up a great point, Dan. How do I get around that? You get around it by realizing, one, it's there. You get around it by looking at it and going, well, what kind of love do I want to experience? Do I really want to be loving? I mean, Marianne Williamson's a great book, Return to Love, I think it was called. I read it eons ago. I was having problems with my, quote, soulmate, actually the person that got this picture for me back here, which is a picture of my master teacher. A lot of people ask every once in a while. Well, every once in a while people ask. How about that? Put it that way. So the wizard's kind of a picture of my master teacher, and then the unicorns and magic and fairies, like, that really does represent like my belief in some of the cool etheric things that I know are around us, that I know matter. Having problems with her, the book was recommended. I read it. It was one of the most amazing books when it came to understanding love, understanding neediness, understanding what love really is, and those concepts around it. And I thought it was beautiful. So again, Marianne Williamson, Return to Love. I think she's written a number of other things. I think she might even be running for politics or something too, which is very strange. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So the whole concept of when you try to grip something so tightly, it starts to slip between your fingers like sand. Right? You can get a handful of sand, but you can hold more sand with an open hand than you can by closing your fist around it. And the tighter you close it, the more sand that has to fall out to make room for that tighter fist. The tighter we hold on to things, the more it slips away. It is that dichotomy that creates the separation that so many of us are trying to change. We want so badly to hold on so tightly. Don't. Let go. Let it be free. They always say the adage, if you love somebody, set them free. If they come back, they're yours to keep. There is probably very few things that are truer in the sense of love. If you truly love that person, let them be free. Let go of them. Let them make their choice. Let them have their decision. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, if all the energy you've been transmitting to them, if the concept of love that you've been expressing to them is of that true nature, then you are going to look like a wonderful choice to them. And they will, in turn, choose you. That is when you've won. That is when you've manifested your dream. But when you try to grab it and hold it, they're going to pull away. God, you can't. Let it be free. By that freedom, you're actually pulling it more to you. It's backwards. So many of us think that, oh, I got to focus, I got to focus, I got to focus. No. I mean, yeah, you got to put the time into it, but it's that I have to. You've already separated yourself from it. It's already so important that it matters more than what it represents. It becomes an outcome. It isn't the love, the relationship. It becomes a thing, an object. I must have that object. And when it's an object, it's not really love now, is it? It's a thing that I need to be happy. It's that shiny object. Oh, goody, hee, I got my thingy. Nah, it's more than that. Because that thingy is not going to last if that's all that thingy is. Or, this happens a lot, you'll get into the relationship and you're like, this is not what I thought it was. And it's like, well, yeah, because the entire focus for you was the object, not what the object represents. It should be what it represents that is your focus And that object is a part of that representation. Don't get me wrong. Like, you've got a world that you're planning out, a love and a relationship and a family. Huge. That's love. You're coming at it from a great angle. Now, when it's urgent and I have to have it, well, you start to separate yourself again. But when it's the whole concept that you're after, rather than just them, I've got to have Joe. I've got to have Sue. I have to. Someone else will get her if I don't get her and I can't do it. You're separating yourself. Being afraid to let go of love is actually being afraid to love. It really is, because that is what love is. It's that strength to let someone do what they want to do, even if it's not you. As dirty as that sounds. Hopefully this makes a difference. If you like what I say, please subscribe. Or if you enjoy what I'm saying, please subscribe. Please share videos, like, comment. All those things are super helpful for the channel. All that makes a big, big difference in my life. And I appreciate that very, very much. And outside of that, leave comments for shows or topics that you'd like to do, questions you've got. I love doing stuff like that. And sometimes even, I know Anyas and I are going to be hooking back up in a couple weeks. A lot of times, the good questions, I like to kind of share them with her too, because it's always fun to get both of our perspectives, I think. And I always like to hear what Anyas has to say about stuff, because it just makes it more exciting. So that's how I like to roll. More great shows coming your way. Thanks so much for joining me. Stay on Radio Style.